guys, thanks for watching. I'm Saumya and welcome to my channel Saumya's Bookstation. Well, a lot of people want to read but they're not able to because they don't get the time. So I thought, why not talk about books in today's video that one can read in less time, because these books, they're not that lengthy. You see guys, you don't have to read a lengthy book to be a reader, and a book doesn't really have to be very long to be a good book. So as I said, in today's video, I'm going to talk about 8 such books which I felt were really nice and they were not even lengthy. All these books that I'm going to talk about in this video are less than 250 pages and they are very engaging too. I read most of these books in a single sitting, so I would like to talk about them. Let's get started. Gochar by Vivek Shanbhag, translated from Kannada by Srinath Perur. This is a story of a lower middle income household that goes from being lower middle income to becoming a rich household because they start their spices business, which is called Sona Masala. Now, this story has been narrated by one of the family members, and he makes his observations about how their morals changed as their financial status changed, how their spending changed, but despite everything that changed about their circumstances, they still remain a tight-knit family, and for anybody who comes from the outside, they find it very difficult to understand the dynamics of how this family functions. These people, the family members, they have their own reasons for the way they live their lives, and they don't really want to change it because they stuck together in a time that was really hard for them, so they have that solidarity that nobody else can break. The way this book has been written is very gripping, and this book is a little over 100 pages. I read this book in a single sitting. Maharani by Ruskin Bond. So as the name of this story suggests, this is a story about the Maharani of Mastipur. Now this Maharani is a widow, she's selfish, she's beautiful, basically she leads a life of decadence and she's proud of it, she's not going to change. And the kind of mindset that she has is not exactly something that makes her a very likable person. This story has the Maharani and Ruskin Bond as her friend. This story has been narrated by Ruskin Bond himself, and he talks about how the Maharani leads a life that he doesn't really approve of, but still he remains her friend. This book I felt was different from the other Ruskin Bond books that I read because it has a lot of decadence in it, mind you, because the story is about Maharani, and that is what makes this book so gripping. Again, this is one of those books which I finished in a single sitting, and I would like you guys to read it. If you are like used to reading books about Ruskin Bond, that Ruskin Bond write that are about nature and all, you are in for a surprise if you pick this book up and you won't be disappointed. Man-Eaters of Kumail by Jim Corbett. Now this is a non-fiction and it is a collection of stories by Jim Corbett about his hunting experiences of the man-eating tigers in the region of Kumail in Uttarakhand. The reason I like this book is because the way he describes all the landscapes while he's hunting the man-eating tigers is something that I enjoy reading because I've been to Uttarakhand, so I am able to picture exactly what he's describing, and if not exactly, then a very close likeness to it. And the way he writes is very personal. It's like he is telling about his hunting stories himself, which is actually what he is doing, to be honest. That's a book that he has written in first person. Apart from that, his interactions with the villagers, his observations of his surroundings were really delightful to read, and that is why I'm recommending this book. Love Story by Eric Segal. Now as for the plot of the story, it's a pretty cliched plot. Opposites attract, they get married, and then something bad happens. Basically, you get to know the entire story in the back cover of this book itself, but the reason I'm recommending is the way this has been written. Okay, now about the book, there are two things: the story and the way it has been written. Like, the way it has been written is something that forms the core of a book, because if the writing is effective, then it makes up for a story that might be otherwise cliched, as this one is. I really enjoyed reading this book, and it really broke my heart, even though I knew what was going to happen because of the way it was written. So if you want to read a book that is quick to read, that has a good writing style, you should surely go for this. The Legend of Lakshmi Prasad and Other Stories by Twinkle Khanna. This is a collection of 4 stories, and all 4 stories are women-centric. Like, the 4th story is not exactly women-centric, but it is about female issues where a man tries to produce economical sanitary pads to promote sanitary hygiene for women. Now, I would like to say that this is a book that has really nice stories. I mean, one of the stories among the 4 is not that good, but I suppose other 3 really make up for it. So I enjoyed reading this book, and it's a very quick read because the language is like really simple, and also it has an impact. on the reader, because the message that all the stories try to give is pretty simple, but it stays with you. It has been written in that way, and I would like to say that this is a book I would like you all to read. And if you want to know more about this book, I have also done a detailed review of this book on my channel. I leave the link in the description box. So guys, I'm going to talk about the next 3 books together because they have been written by the same author and they all are of the satire genre. So okay, the first one is The Diary of a Social Butterfly, Tender Hooks, and the last one is The Return of the Butterfly, and all 3 of them have been written by Moni Mohsin, and as I said, they are satire. Now these books center around a character whose name is Butterfly Khan. She is from the upmarket society of Pakistan. Now the reason I'm recommending these 3 books to you guys is because these 3 books are like really hilarious and entertaining. Butterfly Khan's perspective and her opinions about the things going on in Pakistan and around the world are not the most rational, but there also happens to be a voice of reason in these books, which is none other than her husband, and the banter that goes on between them is really entertaining to read. And also, you don't expect that this book is going to leave you with something to think about when you read it, because this book is filled with wrong English, grammatically incorrect English, as it has been narrated by Butterfly Khan herself. You just like pick one book up, you read it in single sitting, you pick second book, you read it in single sitting too, and then you finish the third book too. So these 3 are really entertaining books and they give you a perspective. They're full of irony, sarcasm, and what more do you need? I've tried to add a variety of genres here for you to read for these quick reads. I hope you pick any of these books and you enjoy them. Do let me know if you happen to read any of the books that I recommended and how did you like them. I would love to know that. And if you have already read any of these books, do let me know in the comment section. So that was it for my today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you want to connect with me on my social media, then the links are in the description box. I'll be back with my next video super soon. Bye.